Hey people, it is Wednesday, July the 19th. Time is 11:18 in the morning. It's currently 22 Celsius. Feeling a bit warmer with the Humidex. And I am at the corner of Queen Street East and Victoria Street. I'm going to be making my way south just for a block or two, but eventually I'll make my way over to Sherbourne Street and then start heading north along Sherbourne. We'll walk through the infamous Queen and Sherbourne intersection. Before then, I will walk down a few lesser known streets that I don't often walk along in many videos at all, really. I'm thinking I'll head down to Lombard Street. We'll cross here. There's a look west along Richmond Street. The lunch hour is approaching, so things are fairly busy around downtown right now. And also on a Wednesday, most people do come into the office. I wonder if I can walk through here, just out of curiosity. This might take me back over onto Lombard Street, actually. And it looks like I can. Got some nice old historic buildings sort of hidden away here on this rarely traveled street. It's not even much traffic either. And new towers on the rise. Now here's Church Street. We'll just cross and continue on along Lombard Street. Wonder if I can just get across here. Quite the traffic situation here. This isn't a very long street. It only runs for a couple of blocks. It ends at Jarvis Street, just to the east. Certainly no shortage of construction noises all around this part of downtown. With more to come. 42-story building proposed for this location. Here's Jarvis. Back the way we came. Gilda Radner Way. I never noticed that before. So Lombard Street has another name also, dedicated to late comedian Gilda Radner, who lived in Toronto for a time when she was a member of the SCTV troupe. She later went on to star in Saturday Night Live. It's cool to see that she has a street named after her. And I'm on Richmond Street East, heading east. All that's remaining of this old warehouse building are two facades on the corner here of George and Richmond, and that will be the location of a new residential tower. Just going across here. There's the famous George Street Diner across the street. That's a landmark of the neighborhood. If you've ever seen a movie called The F Word with Daniel Radcliffe, this diner appears in that movie. And just up ahead is Britain Street, another not often traveled side street. I have come down a few times before, but we'll take it east over to Sherbourne, and then we'll begin our trek north up Sherbourne Street through Queen and Sherbourne and Dundas and Sherbourne, probably the two most infamous intersections in downtown Toronto. Queen and Sherbourne is the location of a new subway station, so there's lots of construction underway nearby to that intersection now, so things aren't quite how they usually are. I think there's not as many interesting characters hanging around the intersection as there were before construction began. Maybe they've migrated up to Dundas and Sherbourne. We'll find out. And we'll be walking through the Moss Park neighborhood for the next several blocks. And here is Sherbourne Street. So that's looking south towards the non-sketchy portion of Sherbourne. But up to the north is where things get interesting. can see the construction underway at the new Moss Park station, which will be located here. And that's the actual park called Moss Park as well, over on that corner. Moss Park discount store. I've never set foot in there. And just a couple blocks up ahead is the famous Kim's Convenience from the TV show. So, not many people hanging out on the corner. This used to be quite the interesting corner with lots of people hanging out.
There is a section where you can do that.
And the sketchiest Dollarama in downtown Toronto. And here you can see some of Moss Park itself. That is not dug up by construction. It's crossing Shooter Street. Things get a bit calm as we walk along this stretch, and then they become more interesting again at Dundas Street up ahead. There's actually a pretty decent bike lane here, all along Sherbourne, a protected bike lane. And this empty lot has been here for as long as I can remember, but I think its days are numbered. A new proposal is planned to put a very tall tower here, 47 stories. And here's the house with its own YouTube channel. The name of the channel is the address of the house. And he has some cameras located on the building that just record all of the hijinks that take place in front of his property here. This 230 Sherbourne is the name of the house and of the YouTube channel. Some pretty eye-opening incidents just happen to take place in front of the cameras, including some people trying to get at the cameras to disable them or destroy them. There's Sam's food store. And here is Dundas and Sherbourne. Pretty quiet around here right now. It is pretty early in the day. If you want to see the most activity around Sherbourne and Dundas, or Sherbourne and Queen, probably the evening hours would be the best time to see it. Or for those who would rather avoid both intersections, I guess the best time to avoid those areas would be in the evening. Pretty solid old homes along this part of Sherbourne. Most of them are subdivided up into multiple units. Some of them are also rooming houses. But at one time this was a bit of a grand avenue. Over 100 years ago. Some people with money would live along Sherbourne as well as Jarvis. And I think the Kenny versus Spenny house from the hilarious TV show is right here. It was either this one here or this one here beside the vacant lot. And this vacant lot is also slated to be finally developed with a new tower. Not as tall, I think around 20 floors or so. So lots of infill going on all around the east side of downtown. Right, now here's Gerrard Street East. And that is Allan Gardens, another major downtown park. It's currently notable as being the location of the biggest tent encampment in the city. So there are dozens of tents, maybe as many as 60 or 70. '75 Sherbourne bus. And here's Carlton Street. We were talking about Kim's Convenience earlier. Well, that apartment building right straight ahead is also notable for being the building that two of the main characters on the show lived in. And these old low-rise apartment buildings across the street are also slated to become part of a new tower development. This one is still occupied, but the one next door is vacant and it's been boarded up for years. But both of them will be incorporated into a new tower of about 40 stories. So I'm not sure if they will retain the old building in its entirety as part of that development or just the facade. tall buildings are slowly making their way all along Sherbourne Street from one end to the other. There are several more up to the north under construction and proposed. And this parking lot across the street is also slated to be replaced with a tower. And here's the Phoenix Concert Theater, a very popular and long-standing live music venue. And that also had a proposal several years ago to build a tower there on that location. I'm not sure what happened with that. I haven't heard much about it since then. Kind of a shame to lose the Phoenix. I've been to a few shows there. We're approaching Wellesley Street, and that's where we'll be entering the St. Jamestown neighborhood. And a beautiful old pre-war apartment building here. When I say pre-war, I'm talking about before World War II. I think that one dates back probably over 100 years or so. Alright, it's crossing Wellesley. There's the St. Jamestown branch of the Toronto Public Library. Towers behind of the neighborhood. Our Lady of Lourdes Roman Catholic Church. Very impressive dome. Tree-lined side street. That's Earl Street. Here's Isabella Street. And the Isabella Hotel. We go across here. That other side of the street has been much shadier, and I've been walking here in the sun. Get a better look at the entirety of the Isabella Hotel. Kind of a neat old building, really. I wonder if it is used as an actual hotel or if people just live in there full time. Here's the end of Sherbourne, where lots of new, very tall towers are springing up. One here is just getting underway. It'll be around 50 stories. And across the street, some other relatively new additions to the neighborhood. Across Howard Street, another 50-plus story tower is well under construction. we are approaching Bloor Street. That's sort of where the downtown portion of Sherbourne Street ends. At Bloor and Sherbourne on the north end of downtown. Sherbourne continues on into the Rosedale neighborhood and takes on a very different nature. Suddenly becomes a very swanky, upscale residential area. It's the tale of two Sherbournes, you could say. But I'm going to wrap up the video walking along this part of Sherbourne as we approach Bloor Street. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you scared to walk along Sherbourne, or do you think it's a lot of hype? And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. And you can find me on Instagram also under K Continuum. There's a look at Sherbourne subway station. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back. Because, as always, I will continue. I just had to drag that out as long as possible.